Salute MobTube. That's what I'm calling it from now on because that's what it is. We built our own little world inside of YouTube. The whole mob genre and the people who talk about it, such as myself. So I'm going to go with MobTube from now on. I like it. I think it makes sense. So thank you for coming back. I think we have a total of 6 people right now, but I appreciate all 6 of you. So, hey Jeff, how the hell are you?
How are you, Sicilian? Good to see you, buddy. Doing well. Long day for me today, but I always love to talk about the mafia. So what I'll do, I'll share it. I'm sure we'll get plenty of people in here. You've been doing real good numbers lately, my man. Good interview with the Sorellis. That was fascinating. A lot of stuff I didn't know about the Ravenite. Great interview.
Thank you, man. Yeah, me too. Like I said, like 50 times in the last interview or in the last show on the actual interview, um, I was really surprised by some of that information, and I'm so glad that that story, if you want to call it that, was broken on my show. I really appreciate them coming on. They're really good people, and it's interesting to hear from people like that because they have a lot of history in their family.
Yeah, they do. And the Ravenite is so iconic as far as what it meant to OC and the Gotti reign and the Delacroix reign, and it goes back a long way. I mean that building and have you ever been to Ravenite like even today or?
Yeah, I was there about maybe 3 months ago. Yeah, we went in. It was still the shoe store. It was called Sidewalk, but it was really cool because they kept that original floor. So I took pictures of the floor and stuff. You know what I mean? Just because it was a cool thing to see. And the lady that runs the place was not real happy. I'm sure she gets a lot of people that just walk through her store just to see what the Ravenite was like. And I said to her at one point, I said, "So this was it, huh?" And she's like, "Yeah, this was it." Like you could tell she was not thrilled with us being in there. But yeah, it's a cool place. But it was just the very front. You couldn't really see in the back. Like you couldn't really get a feel for what it was like back then. But
Yeah, I mean it's iconic, as a place, obviously. So yeah, it would have been interesting to walk those streets during that time. Obviously with all that was going on. Hey, I wanted to ask. I didn't get to hear the part. Did they talk about John Alite or
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
did they
Jeff.
have any remembering? Did they remember him?
Shannon just came down. Let me talk to her for a sec. Can you read a couple
Yeah.
comments?
All right. Cool. All right. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? It's been a long day for me, but as I said, I always enjoy talking about the mob. Did I miss the interview? Yeah, Robert, it was on about an hour ago. You can check it on Sicilian's channel. Pretty long interview with those folks. Seem like nice people. Ace Astarias is probably the most well-known social club in New York City. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Everybody knows the
Um,
Raven Knight.
yeah, here I am. Yeah, I think I woke Shannon up. Um, maybe I'm being too loud.
You're too
But yeah,
loud.
they talked about A Light. They talked about, they were not familiar with him. And
What
Marie,
a surprise.
yeah, I know. Marie is a year older than him. So, same age basically. She, just like the rest of us, never heard about him until he, flipped. And he was publicized like crazy because of the John Gotti Jr. trial, and they absolutely do not believe any of his nonsense. And they called him out on some specific things. She brought up the Fear City thing and how old he would have been when he claimed to be at the Bergen every day and
That's
drive.
what I said. He's talking about like the 70s, like, yeah, we ran the disco era, and it's like we didn't do anything. You were like 14. What do you mean you ran the disco era?
Yeah, and she talked about about him saying that he drove this person and that person and was constantly at the Bergen, and she pointed out the fact that he wasn't even old enough to have a license at that point. And yes, before I get 1,000 comments, I'm fully aware that a lot of people drove without a license, especially back then. But still, she's got a point. You know what I mean, as far as the age thing goes and everything.
Yeah, no, that was definitely an interesting show. Definitely something I haven't seen before. Fresh content for sure.
Yeah. You're getting it again, my friend. Carmine Couchy. Maybe he's related to Mafia Maid. He says, Jeff. Sorry, I had to adjust the camera. Boy, that was a hideous, giant picture of my face right there on the screen. But he says, Jeff, you wear an effing wig. I'm going to try not to curse because I can't get monetized on any of these videos to save my life.
We even have Jeff's wig in here as well. Yeah. By the way, I mean, I don't know how to keep saying this. It's 10:40 at night. I have had a very long day. I had my, it's funny. Yesterday I hit you up. I had my hair spiked, and I was going to hit you up and come on for 5 minutes and show everyone, but whatever. I wear a wig. You figured me out. And it's like you try to tell you try to like pull your hair like super hard. It's like, well, it's probably just glued really well. It's like,
well, it's a funny thing though. It's like your gimmick, is that people make fun of you claiming that you wear a wig. And I saw you damn near tear your hair out of your head. So
yeah, I don't know how else to say it. It's kind of weird, but I don't know why so many men care about other men's hair.
Let me tell you, man, I'm finding out that people care a lot about stuff they shouldn't care about. People really are.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we got a lot of. You know what an incel is?
Yes.
I think we have a lot of them on here.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of incels.
I think some of these guys that are on the internet now, they have like 5 profiles, and I've noticed they all are kind of the same stupid shtick, right? Like,
yeah.
They like certain people, and it's always the same, like, stupid insults, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of people on here men who I think have never felt a woman's breast.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing I saw. Someone wrote that I'm a virgin, somebody said.
Oh, really? You're a virgin who wears a wig?
Yes, I'm a total double loser.
What am I doing with a guy like you on my show, Jeff?
Contrary to what people believe, I actually had sex last night. Not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, I'm not a virgin. I know a lot of people think it, but I'm not. That's one thing about me, Sicilian. I've always said this, and I'll always say it. If you've got a good line of bullshit, it doesn't matter what you look like, how much you weigh, how much money you have. You can reel a chick left and right if you know how to talk. And I, for one, never skimp on women. I'd rather be alone than have an ugly broad next to me. Yeah, no virgins for me, pal.
That is very true, man. I've seen some guys that are. I've seen some hideous dudes pull some chicks that you'd never imagine them with.
It's like personality, man.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Confidence. These are things they like. But like I said,
look at you. You're a prime example.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm a monster, and
you're just like a random guy.
Yeah,
you got this great woman. So.
Yeah, I'm a monster. I'm hideous, and I have this this gorgeous lady by my side. You're right. Thanks for that.
So, I wanted to bring something up as we're talking about ugly. I've been seeing some ugly things recently. I wanted to talk a little bit about Bath Avenue, if we can, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely. I love talking about Bath Avenue.
Yeah, and I've seen this guy's name being mentioned a lot, at least over the last week or so. Paciello's name is getting back in the mix again. Yeah. And I don't understand, like, the things that we're hearing about Paciello just are not factual. Chris Paciello, first of all, wasn't even in Bath Avenue. He was in the New Springville Boys. He did some pieces of work with Calandra and with those guys. Chris was a tough guy, but the people that ran that crew were Reynolds and Galino. It's very simple. Paciello is a guy that I don't know how he runs things the way he does, just with all his deceit that he's had in his life, back then. But I've heard some truly wild things recently about Paciello. I mean, Paciello was a stool pigeon. I mean, that's all he was, And a lot of guys in that crew did not rat. They didn't. Reynolds, I know you know that.
And Fabrizio, yeah.
Yeah, Fabrizio, they're both doing 50 years. And, Galino, if he hadn't pushed Spiro, I don't think he would have done anything either. He'd be sitting away as well.
Absolutely. And Reynolds, he's in Raybrook until 2036, and Fabrizio is in, I believe, Allenwood. till 2030. So, yeah, they never told on anybody. I will say this about Chris Pacello. Obviously, we know how smart the guy is, but because look at him at this point. But he was a tough son of a bitch. There is no
But I
doubt.
gotta,
Is
I
I'm
gotta,
sure.
I gotta wonder, and I'll ask you, how much of that is FBI money staking him in that? I mean, I'm sure he made a pretty penny for cooperating.
Um, yeah, I'm quite sure. I mean, or they let him hold on to a lot because I know he started his little empire with money from a bank robbery, but then when
Yeah,
he got out of jail on the killing of that lady and stuff, I won't mention her name. That's not right to do. But when he got out then, and he was supposed to go into witness protection, he did move to California, and he opened a chain of pizzerias that didn't go well. So he had some money when he got out of jail, whether it was from them, which very possibly could be, or just some money they let him keep because they have a way of doing that with certain people. I don't know, but I mean, he's sitting pretty now, that's for sure.
yeah. He's definitely an interesting guy, but I mean, you know, and look, from what I know, I mean, and what I definitely know, he was not very involved with that crew. I mean, he happened to be there that night when they did what they did. You know, he was a driver. He stole cars. That was his thing. You know, so
Yeah, and he would go to them for muscle and for to do scores with and stuff. He would go to them a lot for that type of stuff, and he especially liked Jimmy and Reynolds, as far as I know. He liked to have them with him on stuff. So yeah, I mean, there's some false information floating around, I guess.
yeah, and obviously, chat. Feel free to ask any questions that you have. We always enjoy hearing what you have to say. That guy's dead on the money. Make a chick laugh, smell good, and a lady will be a lady. Little free advice from San Antonio, Texas, Military City, USA. I always like that guy. He always says that at the end.
Yeah,
Military City, USA.
yeah, he's a good guy. And just a little side note here. I don't know how many people have noticed or how many of them are in here, but I think I just made some new moderators, and I think I probably have more moderators than I have commenters at this point. So hopefully that'll be taken care of now. Um, FBS, can I sit on your head? That's Jeff's wig. I mean, only because you're a wig. Yes. If you were a person, absolutely not. I wouldn't enjoy that at all. But
Keep
since
in
you're,
mind, that's a grown man with that account.
yeah, I know. Well, I saw him on somebody else's show today commenting.
Concerning.
He makes his way around.
Yeah, it's a concerning thought that that's an adult male in America right now.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think there's a lot. I really believe in that. I think this incel movement is growing, and I think a lot of them have come to the mob channels on YouTube because, wow, some of these guys, you could tell, man, they don't have a lot going on. Yeah, they're
Little bots.
yeah, little bots, a lot of jealousy. You know what I mean? A guy said to me after this last show, I just saw this comment before we came on. After this last show I did tonight, um, there's not much here to keep people around. Meaning on my channel, like there's not much here. Well, I hate to tell you, jerk off, but look at the numbers, and you might have to rethink that
As
statement.
I told you before, you can do everything on the internet. You could be, just everything, and someone's always going to have an issue with something,
Yeah, there's a lot of people that just like to. This is, it's entertainment for them to fuck with people, to stir up conflict in the chat room and stuff. And hey, more power to them. But
And Mrs. Sorelli's in here. She says good vibes. Exactly, Mrs. Sorelli.
oh,
Agreed.
Marty Sorelli, hi, how you doing? Thank you again. Great show tonight. And if you look through our comments from tonight, a lot of good ones. A lot of good ones. People loved it.
Yeah,
So
well
thank.
done. Kev says, "Did I work with Michael Rappaport? I did not. I saw him once. I didn't work with him. No.
Yeah, Michael is.
AJ Soprano. Somebody said that's true.
Oh, you
Very true.
what you do? Wait, what did they say?
Someone says there's a bunch of AJ Sopranos and Ziggy Sabotkas out there, always
No.
commenting bullshit. That's so true, actually. You ever see that one episode of Sopranos, Sicilian, when Tony like comes home and he looks in AJ's room and AJ's like on the computer like laughing. He's like, and like the next scene, he's like in the psychiatry office and she's like, so what's going on? And Tony's like, how about the fact that I hate my son? And he's like, I come home the other day and he's sitting in his room on some
Giggling like a
chit-chat
schoolgirl, yeah.
chit-chat room, giggling like a little schoolgirl
Yeah.
with some other fucking jerk off. It's just so funny. That's the fucking commenter, some of these people. That is him.
I know. Bro, I'm so glad you mentioned that scene. That is
And he goes, yeah, Brendan Walsh, I'd like to smash his fucking face in.
He comes in, the look he gives his son when he sees him in the chat room, the look is priceless. Oh my God.
And then like a few scenes later, he like invites him out into the garage and he's like he has like the football helmet and AJ's like saying that he doesn't want to do the construction job and he like smashes the fucking door or window in.
He smashes
AJ's. It might be a little airy driving down there tomorrow, so double up.
Yeah, that oh man, so many classic scenes. I love that show, man. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. You know, people say, "Oh, it's not accurate." It's not about the accuracy. It was an amazing show.
I felt like it was pretty accurate. I mean, it's not totally based on everything historically, but like a lot of the storylines are based on real events, real people.
Yeah, the Cavalcanti family.
Yeah, yeah. And there was another little faction years ago they based it on. And like little, like Pussy, Big Pussy, he was a real person, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was. Tony was based on someone real. You know, and a lot of the storylines were pretty factual. So
yeah, and David Chase said that the reason he did it that way is because that's the way he grew up in North Jersey. That's how the mob guys were. They lived in the suburbs. They drove SUVs, and you know it was different than a place like New York. And yeah, I mean, as far as I know, it's pretty accurate. They have a point as far as oh yeah, absolutely, Marie. Anytime. I loved it. You guys can come on anytime you want. Yeah, that's how, you know, like little things they say about how, you know, no mob boss is going to walk out to the end of his driveway in a bathrobe to get the newspaper every day, you know.
Well, you know that the character Tony is based on a guy, he was called, his last name was Boiardo. They were a Genovese faction of that family in New Jersey back in like the 40s. And Tony Boy Boiardo was a son, and his father, Richie Boiardo, was the kind of the boss of that group. He was based on Junior's character, Uncle Junior, and they ran Jersey for a long time. They were not their own family, like did the Cavalcantis. And then Boiardo had a guy, Big Pussy, that worked for him, and then there was a Little Pussy as well, Little Pussy Russo. That was their names. And yeah, and then there's some basis of Tony with Vinny Ocean and some other guys, but yeah, it's a great show. One other scene I like a lot as well is in season 2 when Christopher starts working with Bevilacqua and that other kid.
Yeah.
And they go into Richie's one day, and the guy walks in. He goes, "Richie, this is Matthew Bevilacqua and Sean Gismonti." And he's like, "I was taking them to see IROX. They want to come say hello." And Richie's like, I hear you've been working with Christopher Moltisanti. And then they start talking about Christopher. He goes, Moltisanti, that nose, it's like a natural canopy.
Yeah, Richie April. Yeah.
And he just starts like,
yeah, he says he's the only guy who could smoke a cigarette in the rain without a fucking umbrella.
Yeah. He's like, you can't say that. He goes, I just did. And then the kid goes, yeah, I mean, what do you mean? He's my homie. And Richie just goes into this like racist rant about like, you know what he said, but
stop talking like a Moulignard.
Yeah, he's like, you want to talk like that? Go to slip and fall school. and then there's the one scene also when he has to build that ramp for Beansy.
Oh yeah.
He's like, Tony. He's like, I got to deal with Paulie and fucking Wingman came to see me. They're talking about me building a fucking ramp.
That's when they met in the mall by the carousel.
Yes. Yeah. And he's like, just talking about how he's like, and then they're in the talking to Paul, and he's like, why don't I build a Lionel, drive it up through your ass or whatever. It's just so funny, man. The scenes are just awesome.
Talking about the big pussy thing, if you remember in the what was it? It was in the scene in the episode where they were talking. It might have been the first episode while they were talking about blowing up Artie's restaurant.
Yeah.
They talk about the guy Pussy is going to get whacked in there.
Yeah, and, little Pussy Malanga, yeah.
Yeah, and he says, which pussy did you think they were talking about? Big Pussy? My pussy?
Yeah.
That's the best scene ever.
Yeah, it is so good, man. I can't think of a bad episode. I mean, the only episodes I didn't like were like the Cleaver episodes, that goofy
that
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like those, but one other good one was the episode where Christopher obviously gets shot in season 2, and he has the dream about the going to hell or whatever. And he's like, I wake up. He's like, I was playing dice with 2 Roman soldiers, and I saw Mikey. And like he just starts talking about his life and going to hell and stuff. That's a good episode as well.
That's where he said hell is an Irish bar, and they
never
win a hand of cards, I think, and it's St. Patrick's Day every day.
Yeah, he goes, it's St. Patrick's Day every day.
Yeah, the last time I got this is no joke, because that is kind of an Italian thing. People believe stuff like that, and there's always been a rivalry between the Irish and the Italians. But my last major arrest was on St. Patrick's Day of 2016, and the cop, I'm not going to say his last name, but couldn't be more Irish. Okay, this is the case agent, the guy working the case, and he had, no lie, he had flaming red hair, because he was red hair, green eye, as Irish as could be, pale skin, and he had a 4-leaf clover shirt on, and I was like, yeah, here we go. St. Patrick's Day. I should have committed a crime on St. Patrick's Day.
That's funny. Yeah, that's that's pretty interesting how that all works out.
Yeah, man. We got some good comments here. What do we got?
Yeah, someone's asking about they said, do you know the guy that was from Idaho? He was living in Idaho. He used to be a Boston mobster. Yeah, I heard about that guy. He was an associate. Ponzo, I think is his last name. I think he moved around with Frank Salemi. But, yeah, I heard about that. He, moved out there and just started being, a rancher, and he just kind of switched his life all up. Yeah, I heard about that guy.
Oh, Carlos says the Sopranos Pine Barrens episode is my favorite. Yeah, absolutely excellent episode. With the big, what was he? Not Russian, something like that, in the woods.
Yeah, he was Russian.
Was he Russian?
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe Czechoslovakian or something. I couldn't remember.
No, they thought he was. They're like, he killed 16 Chechen rebels.
Yeah. The guy said he was an interior decorator.
Yeah. His house looked like shit.
Yeah. Oh shit!
They couldn't hear Tony, and he was saying he was part of the Interior Ministry.
Yeah,
he killed 16 Chechen rebels.
Yeah,
and they couldn't hear him. And yeah, he was Interior decorator.
That's the funniest shit. Remember that big tough bastard? He said, "You think this hurts?" or something like that. I wash my balls with ice water, and he probably did. And I think Paulie said to him. When he was going through his apartment and he saw the universal remote and all that, he said, "Universal remote. You probably wiped your ass barehanded when you came to this country."
Look at this prick giving orders.
Yeah.
He goes, "Put universal remote on docking station."
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this prick giving orders.
Yeah.
And he just drops it. And Chris goes, "Paulie." He goes, "You want to fuck now, cocksucker?"
Exactly, bro.
It's funny as hell.
Brendan Walsh, my father, 100% Irish and looks like Chaz Palminteri. Yeah, believe it or not, they actually call that Black Irish when they have, brown eyes, black hair, stuff like that. There's a lot of Irishmen that look like that.
Someone says, "Good question. Who is this fuck Jeff Nadu?" Settle down, Droosh.
Who is this guy? Oh, this is fat, beady-eyed wingnut. He's kind of a dick. So you'll probably be getting a lot of questions like that. Can
Settle
you
down, Wig.
can
Now.
you give a background on Jeff Nadu? No, but I'll let Jeff do it. You want to give your background, Jeff, for people that don't know?
Yeah, so I'm just a guy that likes. Well, by the way, according to some people, I'm just using other people to get noticed.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah,
You saw
that's
the comment?
yeah. I'm using people to get noticed because I don't have my own show. I don't know how many times I got to say this. I don't use YouTube to put my show on. I have a iTunes account, a podcast page. That's what I use. I've only recently got YouTube because I
Yeah,
wanted to put some videos.
Jeff has a much bigger following than I do. So
Yeah, I have like a regular job that's very Twitter based. So that's kind of my main thing. So, but yeah, I met Sicilian. I love his content, and we like to kind of collaborate and do these little Q&As and just chat about stuff.
yeah, absolutely. Somebody said Hootie was on also too. So I guess Mob Rats and Hootie are on. I wanted to wait. Like I don't like to. I'm not worried about Hootie, but Mob Rats I like to wait. Yeah, I don't care till he gets off, like professional courtesy. But me and Jeff kind of had this planned all day, and I didn't know. I waited an hour, but I don't know how long Mob Rat's show is going to take. But he knows I always try to. I try to coordinate with all these guys.
Oh yeah, that's right. Carlos says you guys work for the Gaudis. That's right. We do. We
Yeah,
work
well,
for
yeah.
Angel. Yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't received my money, by the way. I'm
Yeah,
very.
I haven't gotten paid this week. What the
The
hell?
Gaudis, though, that's my full time job. On the side, I actually work for Sammy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't pay either, so I'm about to quit.
Yeah, I'm actually interning for Hootie right now.
Interning.
He's getting me to create new hat designs for his new hat label.
Are they 5950 hats?
We're actually going to do wigs as well. Hootie wigs.
Oh, Maury's wigs. You should call them Maury's wigs.
We were just going to call them Hootie's wigs.
All right, Hootie's wigs. Yeah, I was gonna say because Maury's wigs, there's already commercial for that. I saw it
They
on
can't
Good
come
Food.
off.
Yeah.
Mob Rats is covering Panisi, so it'll be a long one. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I saw a little bit of that. I didn't know he had a thing with
Is he
Panisi.
covering the Panisi show about John Alite or Panisi?
Oh no, he's covering Panisi from what I could tell. You know, Mob Rats just hates rats in general.
Yeah, no, I know. I didn't know if he did a show on that Alite thing or not.
Yeah, he already did.
Wasn't he like suspended or something?
That's what I thought. It turned out no. I had gotten a call. What day was that? I don't know if that was Friday or Saturday when I kind of went batshit on the other guy. I had heard that, who's that?
Oh yeah, that idiot.
What are you saying?
I was just charting shit. Sorry.
Forbidden words, my friend. Yeah, I had heard from somebody, not from him actually, but from somebody else that Mob Rat's show was taken down because of the other guy. And I still, feel I'm in the right because there was something done to Mob Rats that I don't think should have been done. But no, it turned out his channel was fine all along.
Teddy the Kid says, "Is Hootie a junkie?" Question mark. Well, we're not going to joke about people's,
Yeah, I'm nobody to be calling anybody a junkie. I have my own past with addiction, and like I said, anybody who has a drug problem, all I can do is wish them the best, and that's it.
Take it easy, Mr. Ellie.
Oh, are you leaving? Good night, Marie. I appreciate you coming on once again. Sleep with the fishes. That's great. You have a wonderful sense of humor. You and your brother both. So I will talk to you guys soon, and we'll do another show together eventually.
By the way, sleeping with the fishes. You ever think about the ocean ever? Like how literally deep it is?
Yes. I've actually looked it up.
Like I watched this video on YouTube about how deep the ocean really is and just like it's crazy.
Yeah, I looked it up once. The deepest point of the Atlantic Ocean. I don't want to say because I'm going to sound stupid if I'm wrong.
No, it's like you literally can't go down that low because you'll literally blow up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You'll explode.
It's nuts. It's really crazy to think about.
Did you ever see the movie? It's a shitty movie, but 47 Meters Down?
No.
It's about two girls. I believe they were friends, and they went in they wanted to do like a shark a shark diving expedition, whatever you call it. They go down in a cage, and the sharks come up to the
Right.
cage and all
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
stuff. But the mechanism that controlled the line broke, and
Oh
it just
shit.
kept feeding the line until they were 47 meters down.
Holy shit.
And obviously, they have oxygen tanks,
Right.
but they're only good for so long. So it is a suspenseful movie, and I'll tell you what, yeah, it wasn't a big budget movie, nothing like that, but it was actually pretty decent. You should check that out.
I'll have to check that out. I always found the
Oh,
ocean like fascinating. Let me ask you. So let's say you started at the Hamptons, right? Long
yeah.
Island to Cape May, so like South Jersey. That stretch of the Atlantic Ocean. What would be the over under bodies disposed in the ocean by
Oh,
the mob? I'll
oh,
set the over under up at 50.
throughout history.
Yeah. Because
Um,
I feel like that's kind of a lot of work, honestly, to do that. Like I feel like there's a lot easier of ways to get rid of bodies.
I would say for that stretch, from where to Cape May?
So like like Long Island.
Oh, okay, like the Hamptons. Oh, yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah.
The Hamptons to Cape May.
You think it's thousands? People are saying thousands. Wow.
I would go. I would go with 100 for the over under.
Yeah, I feel like 100, I guess, is probably about good. I feel like 1,000. I feel like it's way easier to just like cut it up or bury it, like put it in a like if you're a mob guy, like a high end mob guy, like I would have like a funeral home on standby, like if you're doing that.
I'm sure there was many of them that did. But yeah, I mean, obviously something like that, like a instant cremation type of deal would probably be your best bet, right?
Yeah. Someone says, "Where's the slick back hair?" I wash my gel out, man. It's not real comfortable, and I've been home for a while.
Bro,
So many fucking people worried about hair. Holy
I'm
shit!
gonna start counting the hair questions every night that we do a show because it's so funny.
Someone asked me, "Can you expand on your Barstool background?" Well, there's not a lot to say, really. I've been connected with them for a while. I was actually up there today doing some stuff. So yeah, I'll talk about that maybe on my own channel at some point.
Yeah. So did you already mention in the show you had to go to? You've been in what? How many different states today?
Oh, I've been in. So I left Philly this morning, went to New York, got up there by 11. I was in New York until 3. I left New York, went back to Philly, and then went from Philly back to my house. So I've been in 3 different states.
Not bad.
No. Train's a great thing, beautiful thing.
I never took the train to New York.
Yeah, it's actually quite pleasant. I like it. I have a train station in my town, so a lot of the time you sit there. It's easy. It's nice.
Yeah, I've been to that train station a few times to pick people up. Cleveland Corleone's David Portnoy is a hero to small business.
He did a lot for small business. Raised about $50 million for small business. Thank you. Yeah, he did a great job with that.
Yeah, I know through COVID, helping restaurants that were shut down and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people got help, man. That's the backbone of the country, man.
I don't know. We're talking about Boston. I'm not sure how. Any knowledge on Frankie Loke? Yeah.
Yeah, so contrary to what some people have said, Frankie Loke is still alive. So Frankie Loke was the consigliere under John Gotti. He worked a lot of, he'd been around for a while. He did a lot of stuff and kind of rised up into the family, becomes consigliere. Had made some really good comments about Gotti initially. When he was arrested, he made a comment that I'm guilty of being a good friend of John Gotti, and if there's more men like John Gotti in this earth, we'd have a better country. But obviously, as things went on, Sammy Gravano has talked about in his book, he wrote this book, Underboss, that at one point, Locascio wanted to kill Gotti. Whether you believe that or not, but he's an interesting guy. His son actually is pretty interesting as well. Salvatore Locascio. He had a big scheme back in the mid 90s. It was a telephone calling scheme, and it was a porn line scheme. They made a fuck ton of money, millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, I bet. That story about Frankie Loke in MCC with the oranges and all that. You know what I'm talking about? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. It's Sammy. So who knows? Do I think it's possible? Absolutely. But with Frankie saying what he said, after he got convicted, I don't know. I mean, he'd have reasons for saying something like that too. So who knows?
Yeah. I will say, I mean, him still being in jail is pretty crazy.
Oh my God, yes. Gotti was putting him down in jail all the time. Sammy says, "Yeah, I know. I mean, I highly doubt that. I got to be honest with you."
Well, I mean, Sammy also said he got like super respect from like the Aryan Brotherhood and stuff. So
Yeah, he was given a special tattoo.
you believe that?
No. Well, not only that, but why would you even accept that? I know for protection. That's the only reason you'd accept something like that.
I mean, I will just say this: like, if you're in an institution, and there are some institutions that there are no mob guys, paying the Aryan Brotherhood for protection is not like that big a deal. Like, they're gigantic and huge.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
when you're in
absolutely.
prison,
In the prison system, they're they make up for a big part of prison gangs and stuff. I just don't know if I believe that story.
yeah, I don't know.
Carlos Muniz, like I said, I do think he was protected by them. You know what I mean? But I don't think it was just out of the respect they had for him because what was the quote? You're not you're a guinea, something like that. You're not one of us.
Yeah, I haven't seen I haven't seen that interview in a while, or that video. I remember him talking about it though.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
what he loves saying? He always says this. He goes, "You know what I'm saying, bro?" He always says that, Sammy.
Well, I'll tell you what's funny about Sammy is somebody that age using the word bro. That
Yeah, come on, bro. He always says that. What fuck you mean, bro?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
always says
A guy that age using the word bro. And then, but when he quotes himself
that.
back in the day from 30 years ago using bro, he was not using the word bro then. He got
I
that
know. He only
prison.
uses it now. It's kind of
Yeah, hell
weird.
no. No wise guy is going to walk around calling people bro like
I
that.
think he's been hanging around that granddaughter of his too much. She probably says it a lot. And grandkids probably say it, and he just rubbed off on him, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. It's not like he was calling John Gotti bro back in the day. Like,
No, well, could you imagine? Uh, Seniors, juniors, or seniors, SJR, what the fuck? SJR, RJS. What is a lot of jealousy from who? Please tell me. Because I have a feeling
I
about
think he's a Sammy guy, probably.
yeah, most likely they're dopes. That's why. um, John Jr. may have a 302. Who knows? It was sorry guys. I didn't see without these. You're going to see this big dumbass light glaring off my ass, so I can't see shit. John Jr. may have a 302. It was a strategic move. He did not give him anything. I agree. Absolutely. Now he is
Yeah,
making.
I will say I've been asked about this a lot. I'll probably do a video on this at some point. I'm not gonna come on Sicilian's channel and discuss this just because I have my own opinion on it, and I don't want to get his station in a tizzy. So I'll talk about it on one of my shows. I think at some point. I
Talk
do have
about,
something to say.
talk
You're cutting out. What'd you say?
about what?
I want to talk about this 302 stuff with him.
Oh.
I just I don't want to I don't want to upset anyone on your channel.
I mean, I don't think that's an issue if you want to talk about that. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I will just say this. I think if you're going to knock someone else for giving 302s, you've got to knock everyone. This is that
Oh,
simple.
I got it. I got what you're saying. No, I can definitely be seen that way. I respect that opinion. I certainly don't agree with it. Him doing that, but at the same time, just like anything else in life, there's levels, and you can't compare what John Gotti Jr. did to what Sammy or A-Light or any of these other guys did. You know what I mean? Because he didn't put anyone in jail. I'm not, like I said, still not right. But you know what I mean? Like I don't think you can compare them.
I guess I'll say like, um, you know, if that guy's last name wasn't what it is, what would you say? Like, take the name out of it. Like, because let's just be honest, Michael Franzese, he did the same thing. Do you think he's a rat?
Well, there's a good example. Yeah, absolutely. But again, I would never put Michael Franzese in the same category as Sammy or John
Okay.
A. Light. I just wouldn't.
Fair
I
enough.
would say they're all rats,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say it's not even the same type of thing to me. That's just my opinion. Um,
Yeah. I think and I get what you're saying. It's not kind of the same level of cooperation. Like they don't go full in. I think they kind of play, and see what's up with it. But I don't know. It's a slippery slope, for sure.
I will say this too, though, with Franzese, that I think I feel a little bit different about the Gotti Jr. situation. Is Gotti Jr.'s information, his 302, I believe, was made public. I think he made it public. And
Yeah.
everything he spoke about was basically stale crimes. The people who committed the crimes he talked about were all dead. Whereas Franzese, I don't feel like we'll ever know the extent of his cooperation because to even hear him tell it, gave information. So he
Well,
could,
he testified against Norby Walters though as well.
yeah, Norby
Norby
Walters went to jail.
and
But
Norby wasn't a mob guy, but he was a friend of Michael's.
yeah, but I think Franzese probably did a lot more damage than that too. I got to be honest. I, I mean, just his sentence tells you that the guy defrauded the government of like $1 billion. I mean,
Yeah. When you steal
so
from the government, you're screwed. Someone says Joe Coffey should narrate every mob doc. He's dead, so
yes, he
he
is
can't. But
very.
he was pretty interesting. He's always a good consultant.
Yeah, he was, and Tommy Dades is still
Yep,
out
Tommy.
and about.
Yeah, Tommy's good. I urge you, Cecilian. I don't know if your audience did. We did a show last week on Tony Salerno, and we found a letter that Tony penned to a journalist when he was in prison. It was the only letter he had ever communicated to a journalist about, and we read it on air last week, and it was really incredible. He just destroyed Giuliani in it, just with because Tony had argued, how are you going to justify giving a 75-year-old man 170 years for literally no murders, no nothing, and like you always see him on these like mob docs, Giuliani, Michael Chertoff, those guys. And like obviously they had the commission case and everything, but I mean, looking back on a lot of that stuff, I mean, Salerno got locked away for what? He didn't kill anybody. He didn't conspire to kill anybody. I mean, it was glorified extortion. You give him 100+ years for that. But Sammy Gravana can walk the streets. It's crazy.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, it blows my mind. Like I said, I
Like the
can't.
government, do they have any morals left? I mean, you doing deals with people like that?
Yeah, I know. And then they put them right next door to you, like I said. Ram0666 said, FBS sounds like an idiot when he defends Junior, loses all credibility. Yeah, with you, Ram066, you think I give a shit what you think, whoever the fuck you are? Go away.
Well, he works for the Gaudis, Ram. I mean, you should know better.
Yeah, I mean, don't you understand? This is my
You
job.
got to talk good about them.
Yeah, it's listen, man. People can say what they want, but facts are facts. I mean, yeah, he sat down with the government. Yes, 30 years ago that would have gotten him killed. But as far as we know, nothing John Gotti Jr. did resulted in anybody getting hurt at all.
I mean,
So
think about it though. Every gangster, when they get pinched, they sit down with the government in a
I know,
way. Like they just don't say anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's listen.
So I mean,
Yeah, I know you're being funny, but
well, they do. I mean,
yeah,
did they not sit with Tony Slaney and try to get him to flip? You know,
yeah,
I'm sure they tried. They sat down with the government.
yeah,
So, but did they cooperate? No. And I don't know if Junior did. I don't think Junior picked. Now here's the thing: Junior got caught up when he was in the life with. Remember when he got caught with all the names on the paper in his house?
yes.
That was probably more damaging than anything he said to them after the fact.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, I don't care what anybody thinks. Facts are facts. Now, this is probably an A-Light guy, who wants to. People who love A-Light and hate Gotti Jr., they want them in the same category so bad. But facts are facts. And the facts are John A-Light named, what did we come up, what was it? Remember my 302 show I did? What was it, like 300 and something names altogether that he gave information on or testified against or got locked up? Whereas John Gotti Jr., I'm pretty sure I read it before, and I'll look it up tomorrow. We could do a whole show on it. He talked about, I think, a murder his dad committed when in the 70s or early 80s, something like that. He talked about stuff. He did basically what he did was he went in and he tried to bamboozle them. He tried to give them, misinformation basically, or information that had no value whatsoever, and he wanted to see if it would work. And I sound like an idiot. Listen, the dude went on trial, what, 3 times or 4 times after he did that. Okay, when you rat successfully and you get anybody locked up, you don't go on trial 4 times after that. Okay, so I don't sound like an idiot. You sound like an idiot. That's the bottom line. I don't remember John A-Light being put on trial. I don't remember Sammy the Bull being put on trial. I don't remember any of the major mob rats being put on trial. But I remember John Gotti Jr. being put on trial a
Yeah, he
lot.
was put on trial a couple times.
Yeah, so.
Hey, let me ask you, do you think, I'm curious because I don't know if you've ever seen this. What do you think John A-Light gave John Gotti Jr. at his wedding? Like
What?
money-wise. How much do you think he gave him?
Well, according to him and Leatherface, he gave him $5,000.
That's true.
What?
Definitely true.
What A-Light gave him? Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that.
I found the guest list and the connected guys that were there, and all the totals are written down. He did give 5,000. That's true.
Was that the most?
No.
Of course not. But to hear A-Light tell it, it was the most.
I think Joe Watts gave more than him. A couple. I mean, it was fairly high. It was more than like most of the guys, but like I think the highest was 10 G's. I think that was the highest amount.
Don't you find it hard to believe though that with all those wise guys and stuff, that even 10 G's would be the biggest gift? I mean, that just doesn't sit right with me.
Well, I guess we ultimately don't know what Senior gave him. I'm sure Senior gave him, a nice little nest egg. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think a few different people gave 10.
Yeah, but to hear him tell it, and when he was on Leatherface's show the other day, Leatherface had the list, and he was like, "Wow, it's true. You really did give the most."
This guy says, "Let's be real. The mafia life is not good or anything to glorify." Period.
Oh, absolutely, I agree.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think anyone will disagree there. Someone says John Gotti's son. Someone gave more than 10K. Okay, I didn't see that person. I mean, I saw both lists, but okay, whatever you say.
I actually remember when that happened too, when they found that list and all that stuff. And John Gotti Sr. was not happy about it. I think he spoke about it on those prison tapes.
Oh, really? I don't think I've ever heard that.
Yeah, which is another reason I said that there's no way Gotti Jr. knew about the Castellano hit. Therefore, there was no way A-Light did. Because I hate to say this, but Gotti Jr. thought his son was kind of a dope. I mean, that's no secret.
Well, I mean, put it this way. John A-Light, when Paul Castellano was whacked, John A-Light was what, 21? I believe. He was born in
23. 20. Wait, yeah. He was born in 62.
Okay.
23.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, I mean that's just not true. Did you ever hear that tape when Gotti's complaining to his daughter about the neighbor or whatever that like gave her issues, and he's like, why don't you call up? Did you say, do you know who my father is? You want him to handle it his way?
Yeah,
Do
you
you
want
not
your
want to
son
see
to
your
wake
son
up
no
in the
more?
morning? Yeah. You want us to cut his tongue out of his mouth? Yeah. What a crazy fucking thing to say.
Yeah, and he just didn't give a shit at that point. It's like
No,
I'm doing life, so what do I got to lose? I still think that one video is good as well, where like the kid's sitting there and he's like, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And the kid's like, "I want to be a baseball player." He goes, "Well, you know, to be a good baseball player, you got to be a good liar. You got to be a good scumbag.
you must take drugs.
You must take steroids."
Yeah, you have to take steroids. Um,
So fucking funny.
yeah,
Oh
you got to be
man,
able to.
I wish I could find like just recordings and like the funny shit he said was just great. You
Oh
tell
yeah,
that punk I'm me. John
John,
Gotti will sever your motherfucking head
motherfucking
off.
head off, you cocksucker.
Oh, so funny.
Yeah, but when he said about the steroids, he said you have to take steroids. You must take steroids, and anybody who takes steroids is a garbage pail.
Yeah,
I just listened to those tapes yesterday.
yeah, yeah. And then there's another one where he admits that there's no mafia. Did you ever hear him say that? He's like, he asked Peter. Peter's sitting there. He goes, what do you know about this mafia? You know about a mafia? He's like, well, I don't know about a mafia.
The funniest conversations, especially with Peter involved.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
no, Peter, from the videos I've seen of him, he was a character as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You ever see that video? It's on YouTube. It's like the footage outside the Ravenite. It's like a 12-minute video. Did you ever
Yeah,
see
I
that?
watched it earlier today because I was gonna do screenshots of a picture for the thumbnail of my video. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And at the end, like he's standing there and asks the camera guy if he wants ice cream. Did you see
Yeah,
that part?
it's him and Big Joe DeChico or
Yeah,
Joe DeChico. I'm sorry,
yeah.
Joe DeChico were standing out there at the ice cream truck. Yeah, and he pointed to him and he was asking him. Yeah. Did you ever see the balloon gram video?
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
it was at the Bergen.
Dude, how funny is that when that little Joe character comes out?
Oh my
He
god.
like answers her, he's like, he ain't here. He goes, do you know when he's back? No, I don't know when he's gonna be back. He's like, can
Yeah,
we leave this here? And Peter comes and he goes, what is this? He goes, and he's like, yeah, I guess you could leave it here. And he like grabs balloons, just walks in.
that's so funny. They sent the balloon gram to the fucking Bergen.
Yeah, and then they send it to Ravenite, and Dupont answers the door. He's got like the fucking Fila jumpsuit on. He goes, "Is got John Gotti here?" And he goes, "No, he ain't here." And it's just it would how funny would it have been if John was there?
That's when he said, "No, he don't come here anymore," right? Something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah. Sure, he was there that day, but
Yeah, man. I was watching all those videos today, man. That stuff still fascinates me.
yeah.
Um,
I always love the video with John Gotti when they ask him like, "How you doing today, John?" He goes, "You know, I always feel good." Like he's like, you boys must have a lot of film." Whenever you
yeah,
see the cameraman.
bro, the charisma on that guy. And then when he's walking with John Miller at one point,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
he says to John Miller, "I told you to behave yourself." And he says, John Miller says, "I am behaving myself." He said, "No, you're not behaving yourself." The charisma on that dude, the way
I'll
he
tell
talks
you,
to people and shit.
I would love to talk to John Miller. That's one interview I would love to do. I
Oh,
would love to just talk to him about his conversations. I'll say this to the day I die. John Gotti is one of the most charismatic people, and I never met him, obviously, but he just you almost are just infatuated with the guy. You know, like you imagine seeing him walking down the street, it'd be like it would be like seeing like the president or something. You know, it's
oh,
like some people just have that it thing, you know?
yeah, that larger than life. Yeah, that I don't know that energy about them.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like they command the room, you know, and you know, he was that for sure.
Well, that's what Marie Sorelli was saying earlier that she had actually seen Castellano a few times,
Oh
and
yeah?
that's the same thing. I mean, imagine having that memory. You know what I mean?
I would have to think whether it was him, Castellano, Gotti, I mean Salerno, any of those guys. Chin. I mean, even Chin. I mean, obviously at the time, Chin walked around with a fucking bathrobe on, but
Johnny Boy, yes, you're right. That's what it is, and he had it. Oh, Brendan Walsh, I'd rather meet John Gotti than most presidents we've had lately. I'd rather meet John Gotti than any president we've ever had, to be honest. That's just me, though. Um, let's see. Oh, somebody asked who was the first one to walk in the Ravenite in that video, and I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it.
It's Lacasio's kid, Salvatore Lacasio. He's a big guy. Yeah, there's a couple. Bobby Borrello's in that.
I was gonna say, the one scene you could see it's Bobby Borrello walking in.
You know, a guy I always got a kick out of in those videos, and he's one of the guys I always get a kick out of. Jackie Knows.
Oh, bro, I want to do a whole show on him because I'll tell you what. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I don't want to cut you off, but Jackie D'Amico, Jackie the Nose, has to have more longevity.
Yeah.
In the mafia than, I mean, I can't even believe it. He's been around for how long? He's done very little time, but he's got to be a serious dude. There's not a lot to find out about him, but man, the dude goes back a long time.
Yeah, I mean, he's in his 80s at this point. He's been around forever, and John liked him because he was a big time gambler, and he would bet for him. Like Neil, him, and Jackie were big gamblers. They all loved gambling.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been around since the 60s. He was during Carlo's day for a while. Jackie Knows is really interesting. I've always found that he's always with John. He was always with John.
Always. Yeah, I mean, we got to do a show just on him one day, man. But I don't even know. There's not a whole lot to find out about him. That's what makes him so impressive to me, is because he was able to be there around all these bosses and major figures, and to be a major figure himself, and never really talked about. I mean, how could you get caught on being next to Gotti all the time like that, and you're just never talked about that much? You're never.
Well, I know he did a lot of time after Gotti's reign, because at one point he was acting boss of the family.
Yeah.
And he did a lot of time with, like in 2008, 2009, he was actually implicated in that Fred Weiss murder, and he kind of set it all in motion according to the government. And I know he got jammed up. There was an Operation Old Bridge, it was called. There was a big thing where they picked up like 60 guys. You know who's a really interesting guy as well? Do you know Michael Paradiso, Mickey Boy?
Yeah.
You know anything about him?
Not much.
I'll tell you this. I think you make a case. He's a sleeper for one of the most scary mob guys in the business. He is. I've heard stories about him. Volcanic temper.
Really?
Volcanic. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm messing with this fan. There's a lot of them out there, man. That's why, like I said, I always like to talk about those guys rather than the ones that everybody knows so much about.
Mickey Paradiso slapped John Gotti one time. He's the only guy to ever do it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that guy, I'm telling you, he's really interesting. There was a story out a couple years ago that he did a long stretch in jail, and he came home, and his daughter was giving him shit, and he told his daughter and son-in-law that if you keep up the fucking nonsense, I'm going to kill both of you. Like, he's a fucking lunatic, Michael Paradiso, for sure.
Wow.
He's a real G, man.
Well, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, this says, I heard he punched Gotti. Is that true?
Yeah, I think it was back before he was made, though. It was way back. No, he did. It's true, Guinea Pig. It happened before they were both made. He's known Paradiso forever. They've came up together.
Let me see. Thomas Gambino is still going in his 90s.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of guys, yeah.
Different versions of Tommy Agro. Hey, I didn't think you were around anymore. Look at that. Didn't you? I believe you killed Tommy DeSimone, didn't you?
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Maybe you
Different.
could let us know what happened there.
Yeah, and Joe Dogs. You gave him a beating, huh? In Florida. Different versions of his physical confrontation with Gotti. Yeah, I guess so. That CWH that Doc Gotti Jr. did about him and his dad really interesting. Yeah, I gotta admit, Godfather and Son, I think it was called.
Yeah, it's very good.
Very, very good. I
I
saw that.
always enjoy hearing John Jr. speak. I think he's really articulate. I've always liked his content.
He is. I mean, it's true. I've watched that 60 minutes interview 100 times. Um,
I always like the story he talks about with the dancing story. That's a good story. You know what I'm talking about?
oh yeah, when he was dancing with his wife, but
Yeah, and he
uh,
just kind of tells him like you got to make memories
yeah,
and
yeah. John Gotti said, I can't dance, but because oh yeah, that's what it was. John Jr. didn't want to dance, and John
Mhm.
Gotti Sr. told him, you got to make memories. But he wouldn't dance. John Gotti Sr. wouldn't.
That would have been interesting to see.
Yeah, I'll say. Uh,
This guy says you got to take it easy on the Xanax, bro. Uh, my
who?
man, I've never done a drug in my life. I'm super tired, man. I didn't get much sleep last night. I've had a very long day.
What do y'all think about Laborio or Barney Balomo?
Purple dinosaur. Hey, listen, you can do your own research on him. He's very active right now, though. Obviously, I'm not gonna say too much.
Oh shit, where'd it go? Tommy Agro, Joe Dogs would have been dead if that woman would not have walked in. That is one of the best recorded phone conversations. Have you ever heard that?
A little bit, yeah.
When Tommy Agro was talking to Joe Iannuzzi, Joe Dogs,
Mhm.
after they gave him that beating in Florida and almost killed him. The best. I love that tape. I love listening to that.
I will say one thing about Barney B. He's been around a long time, very long time,
Yeah.
very powerful guy.
Uh,
Hey,
who, Jimmy?
Jimmy.
You talking about?
I think he's talking about Barney, maybe. I don't know.
Uh, Barney Balomo?
Yeah, I don't know who he's talking about.
He probably is.
I really want to hear Jimmy's opinion on that. Some of the videos that have been out recently.
Uh, well, he's given his opinion in a couple of his own videos.
I'd love to hear that. I mean, that is just total nonsense. What was said about that guy?
Oh,
Barney.
what was said by that guy? You mean?
Yeah, about Paciello. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Did you hear that today, Jimmy?
Brandon Walsh says Jeff is
Oh,
shook to talk about Belomo. I'm not shook. I'm not talking about made guys currently. I'm not. I mean, if you want to, go ahead. But I'm going to give the respect and I'll do that. We know who Barney is. No one needs to go into what he is.
yep. Jimmy Calandra said Barney is a tough guy, so yeah, that's who he was talking about. Um, yeah, I don't know if Jimmy saw that video today. He might have been working, but
Yeah, you got to check that out.
yeah.
Yeah, someone's asking actually a great drop there. Charles Panarella. That's a guy no one talks about as a hitman. One of the most dangerous, deranged nuts ever. I mean, that guy, he once made a guy eat his own balls. It's a true story.
Never heard that one.
Yeah, true story.
All right, Jimmy. You know what? I can't help myself. Somebody today said that Chris Pacello was the toughest guy in the Bath Avenue crew, and that he was tougher, way tougher than Paulie G. So
And that everyone was rats in that group.
everyone, every single member. So
And that you all took orders from Paciello. That's what he said.
yeah, so, did he say that?
I'm pretty sure he said that, yeah.
Oh,
He
shit.
said he was the brains of the operation.
Yeah, I don't know, Jimmy. Well, I do know, and that's not true. We'll see if he comments on that. But FBS, Manny Vitz, FBS, Jeff's tired, give him a bump.
Give me another bump.
That's cold. That's cold. Why do you got to remind FBS of cocaine? I don't want to think
Sarah
of it.
Phillips says there have been a lot of 100% African American members of Cosa Nostra. I've not heard of that.
There have been what? Sorry, I was drifting.
She says there's a lot of made black guys. I've not heard of that.
What? The street boss of Boston is black?
Yeah, I don't believe that's
There
not
have
true.
been a lot of 100% African American
Hey, there he is. Coming into
members
our
of
chat.
Cosa Nostra. Who?
How did I figure he'd come in and weasel his way in here?
Jimmy left a funny. I don't want to get into all that.
Well, there we go. Now we got it. Fucking, he's in here now too.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that stuff. Like I said, I'm not engaging in that stuff. I was just telling
God,
Jimmy what was said. I'm not engaging in any
Hey,
battle.
why don't you just get out of here, man? Like, go fucking watch baseball. Get out of here. We don't need you in here.
I'm sticking to my word from earlier today.
Fair enough.
Let's see. Brendan Walsh said, LOL, yeah, that's why the Boston family is in shambles. That can't possibly be true.
Yeah, I don't believe that. But hey, you never know. The only close to a made guy that I know of was in Youngstown under Lenny Strala. There was a guy that was really high up, but he obviously wasn't made.
Yeah, I would have to, why are we even debating that? There's no possible way that's true.
Yeah.
It's no fault for even, I'm not even going to Google it because that's ridiculous. That's not a thing. That's not possible. Just for the record, hate liars, Sammy and A-Light. All right, that's cool. Yeah, you're new around here, bro. I wasn't familiar with you, so I don't know. I don't know what to say to you, my friend. So let's see. Redacted, against the rules. I don't know what that means. Mike Fleming. Yeah. You guys do whatever you want. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Everybody's pissed off and having some sort of. All right, I don't know, but let's move on to something else for a little bit.
See what happens when people come in this fucking chat?
I'm telling you.
And the whole show will be about, you talk about people, you know?
Drama. I'm done with all that stuff, man.
Yeah, Jimmy's saying the Cleveland mob is no joke. Yeah, we were talking about that. I mean, we talked about Danny Green the other night as well.
Yeah, Jimmy, you're not joking either. We talked about Danny and Jimmy Fradiano and Ray Ferrito and the murder of Danny Green and John Calandra. Is there any relation there, Jimmy? I remember seeing that video of Calandra and I think it was Licavoli coming out of the courthouse. Do you remember that, Jeff?
Yes.
And they were screaming at the cameraman and stuff. And but they beat that. They beat that trial, I believe. At least that one. Scott Russo, thank you. The Sorellis were awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, Jimmy, let me know if there was any relation. I always wondered that. But yeah, the Cleveland mob was no joke, man. They had a lot of power back then, and it all fell apart with the murder of Danny Green, oddly enough.
Someone said, have you ever heard of Mad Sam DiStefano? Yeah.
Yes.
Probably one of the craziest actual lunatics ever. He was definitely fucked up in the head.
Chicago, right?
Yeah, he did a lot of weird shit.
Yeah.
You ever hear the story when the feds came to like raid his house and he gave them coffee? And
no.
At the end, they were done drinking the coffee. He goes, I pissed in that, right? He would piss in the coffee and give it to them because it had like a pungent taste to them. They
Yeah.
drink it anyway.
What did I just see here? Oh my God, this is funny. You got to give him credit for this.
Definitely
SBF,
funny.
FBS, I wanted to send you a super chat, but I don't know how to pay.
Funny.
Oh my God, that's a classic. Oh my God, that's the best. Yeah, I just saw it. This guy says the Chicago outfit has two black capos.
Jesus, Sarah Phillips, stop.
Yeah, cut
Holy
it out.
fuck. You're just trolling now.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on. Let's talk about the Gemini twins. I'm always up for talking about the Gemini twins.
We have. Yeah, the Testa and Center, yeah. Carlos or Curtis Lewa, he did an interview recently with Frenzies. Did you see that?
No.
And Sliwa was saying that he grew up with Testa and Center. I don't know if I believe that, but
Well, they were all from Canarsie, I
yeah,
believe.
he was saying they all used to play stickball and hang out together.
I believe that because they were all from that neighborhood and they're probably around the same age. Um,
I saw Jimmy posted a video. I don't know if you saw this, but he posted a video today. Did you see Shia LaBeouf called him?
yeah, and I wanted to ask Jimmy about that
Pretty
because I'm not
cool.
sure if that's the one he told us about before.
I'm blown away they haven't made a movie about that crew. Like,
Uh,
like I would love to see that.
it's shocking, man. That their story, the Bath Avenue Crew story, is unbelievable. It's fascinating, and the movie would be amazing, and it would make money. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about it.
Start it
I,
from when they're kids and they meet and yeah, that would be awesome.
yeah, I mean, I can't believe nobody's done it yet. I
And
can't.
honestly, you know what you could do also? You could almost, and I mean, you could probably do enough with that crew just for a movie, but you could also mold it even to the Joe Messino story a little bit as well with that family. Like the Bonanos are really interesting.
That's kind of how they did that episode of Inside the American Mob.
Yeah. Yeah.
They they blended it right in with the Messino case. Tommy Agro, $5. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that.
Tommy making money from hits. Nice to see.
Yeah, Tommy's a good dude.
Grim Sleeper says, "Isn't Sleewa a pathological liar?"
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
he
Which
is.
that makes it hard to believe a bit.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's true too. The only reason I believe him on that is because, like I said, I mean, he grew up in Canarsie, just like anybody else back then. He had to know some of them. So
If
I
you
would,
like Gotti stuff, there's a video on YouTube. You should look it up after we get off the air. It's between Sliwa and Jeffrey Lichtman, who was Gotti's lawyer.
yeah,
They went on the Dan Abrams show. It was when Junior's trial was going on, and Sliwa goes on this soliloquy about how awful the Gottis were, and Lichtman just goes, we love Curtis on the witness stand, and Dan's like, what do you mean? He goes, he was a terrible witness. Nobody believed him, and it's just, and Slee was just sitting there with this dazed smile on his face. He's just getting destroyed.
that is funny. I'm looking up some ages here. Anthony Center would be about 66.
Yeah,
Curtis and him and Joe Testa, I think, were the same age.
I think they're late 60s, all of them.
Yeah, and Curtis Lewa, 67.
Let me ask you, who do you think would play Jimmy in a movie?
Let me think. Jimmy Calandra. Um, I think you could play Jimmy in a movie, Jeff.
I think.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'd have to put thought into that because I don't pay attention to. I couldn't even tell you, big actors right now. I don't watch TV. I rarely watch movies. So I don't know. I'd have to think about it because you'd have to have a young Jimmy. Um, probably.
I honestly have an answer.
Who?
Just hear me out for a second. I think he can play serious roles. Jonah Hill.
As Jimmy?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
It would be tough, but I think he could do it.
Michael Imperioli, I don't know. The nose and all that.
Yeah, no. He could play Joey Merlino.
Oh, bro, I've said that 1,000 times. They are the spitting image of each other. If you know, if there's ever a Joey Molino movie, they have to have him play.
Yeah, he's a little older now, but
Yeah, but he's not too old. They could make him look convincing.
I think people are like so. I think sometimes with actors, like they only see an actor one way, and I think Jonah Hill, people just think of him as comedy, and like that's how they saw Adam Sandler forever until he did Uncut Gems, and he was like a totally different role.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they ever did it, who they would get to play him.
Well, didn't Jonah play a serious part in
Moneyball.
The Wolf of Wall Street?
No, he was kind of like a nutty, like drug addict.
Was he? I don't remember that much. I
Yeah.
just remember he was in it. I thought it was.
He was kind of serious. And if you ever see War Dogs?
Nah, I don't see anything, bro.
Gotcha.
I just don't. I don't know. Every now and then I'll watch a movie, and when I do, it's usually a movie I've already seen. Like the other night.
No, I do that a lot too. Someone says Chin should be played by Palminteri. I couldn't agree more.
By who?
Chaz Palminteri, the guy that made.
Oh yeah, definitely. The other night, like for instance, I did a show where we were talking about sleepers in 29th Street,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that was with my wife. I think I did that, and we wound up watching Sleepers because she never saw it. And 29th Street is just one of my favorite movies of all time. You ever see?
Someone just said something good. You know who could play Jimmy? That guy Slick from Bronx Tale. He played a young Tommy in.
Yeah. He's from Bensonhurst.
Yeah, he's from Brooklyn. Yeah.
He's
in. You ever see Gravesend?
Nah, and I don't really want to be honest.
You didn't. I actually liked it. I thought it was okay.
Really? Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'll tell you what though.
What are with these trolls, man?
Yeah, just get rid of these guys, please. Somebody. I got like 8,000 wrenches in here. Meatball Boy. It's the best they can come up with because I blocked so many words. I don't know. William DeMeo, I'm not sure of. And I'll tell you what, though, who I am a fan of since childhood is Andrew Dice Clay. I don't care what anybody says.
I find him annoying as fuck.
Till this day, I love that dude. I think he's one of the funniest people on earth. And he's going to be in Gravesend the next season.
I saw that. So is Forsyth.
Yeah, and there's somebody else, too.
I think the problem with Gravesend is like they literally get all the same characters in like every other mob show.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but I don't know. The first season was only 4 episodes. So.
Who is it? I think Sebastian Maniscalco is going to be in it. There's a bunch of new people that are going to be.
That's kind of high end.
I think so. Dice is. I saw some stuff he posted with some of the people, and Dice is also doing that Pam and Tommy Lee series on Hulu.
Okay.
Where he plays like a lawyer.
What did you think of Maniscalco playing Joe Gallo in Irishman?
I'll tell you what, I think he did a fantastic job.
I thought he was decent. It kind of reminded me of him. I feel like a little bit. Someone says David Proval is Jimmy. David Proval is like really old. He could never.
Yeah, nah. Did anybody block these people? Why is this still? I mean, it's not happening anymore. I guess they're blocked. The comments just aren't removed. Yeah, that's what is that? What does that even mean?
Someone said you got to watch Godfather Harlem. No, it's all. It sucks.
Yeah,
Buster Johnson's interesting. It's just not that show.
Yeah, I'm not really interested in watching that either. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with these commenters. Meatball Boy. I don't think that's something I can get in trouble for having in my comments, right? I don't even know what the hell that is.
Maybe he's saying you look like Meatball Boy. I don't know.
What's Meatball Boy?
No idea.
I had a friend that used to call me Meatball, but I think it was more of a racist slur than than anything else. All right, guys. I don't know. How long are we going for? Hour and a half. Jesus.
Someone says Jonah Hill's too fat. You guys do know they can lose weight.
I thought he
Actually,
did lose a bunch of weight too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's not a like an unchangeable physical
It's
characteristic.
like, yeah, he's only fat. It's like, well, no, he could lose weight.
Yeah. I'll stay on for like 10 more minutes and then roll.
Mob Sub says Gravesend was very bad. Yeah, look, I mean, it was only 4 episodes. We'll see what season 2 is. But,
That's
yeah,
what I heard. I heard it was terrible.
it was kind of low budget, I feel like.
I'm looking at some of these. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
We lost you.
You lost me. Give me a sec.
We lost his video. Nikki says War Dogs was great. Yeah, based on a true story as well. Really interesting show. Movie, sorry.
Ta-da!
There you are.
Yeah, that happened to me a couple times in the interview tonight. I was highly upset about that. You ever watch that old interview of Sariko on YouTube? Hell yeah. You ever see that, Jeff?
No, I haven't actually.
Tony Sariko. I think it's an interview from 1989.
I gotta check that out.
You got to see him, man. 100% gangster. That dude.
A lot of people don't realize he was in Gotti.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah,
He was
killed
the Mig character who was actually Carneglia.
Yeah, he killed
Gallione.
Ralph Gallione. Yeah.
Yeah, with the silencer gun right in front of all the kids.
Great scene, man. Yeah. Great scene. He jumps out of the back of the cable truck or whatever that was, and
that's a great scene in the show or in the movie when remember, like, John's telling the story about that bellhop. He's like, "Excuse me, Mr. JoJo." He said, "Shut the fuck up! They know I'm here."
Yeah, I got JoJo on his belt buckle. He's got a giant belt buckle that says JoJo.
Yeah. Shut the fuck up! I don't even know I'm here.
You know what that scene reminds me of, where Tony Sariko jumps out of the back of that truck and chases down Ralph Gallione and kills him? It reminds me of the scene in The Sopranos when they chase down Mikey Palmisi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's...
kind of a similar death, yeah.
Yeah.
Chase him through the woods. Paulie gets poison ivy.
Yeah. Fuck! It's itching me already! I love that shit, man.
Yeah, they kill Brennan Filone, and then they kill him.
Tony Sariko definitely whacked somebody. No comment.
No, he's an old man. Come on, bro. He was definitely a mob guy for a little bit, but he didn't whack anybody. Turtle from Entourage could play Jimmy. That's a good one, actually.
I don't know who that is.
You never seen Entourage? Jerry Ferrara. Look him up. He could. That's actually a good one.
Sariko was in 29th Street. My top 5 movies. Yeah, if I remember the part correctly, I haven't seen that movie in years, but I believe he was the guy outside of the limo, right? That took the tickets, or supposedly took. No, that wasn't him. I'm trying to remember his part in 29th Street. Refresh my memory, guys. The lawyer from Power. Who also
Power's a great show as well.
Never watched it.
Yeah, it's long, but it's a great show. He's a good actor. He could play him. That's a good one, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they say, man. Tony Sariko was supposedly very tough with his hands. I saw on an interview where they asked him about why he's always got his hands out in front of him. You know, Tony Sariko in The Sopranos, he's always standing with his hands out in front of him. Yeah. And he said that's from like the yard in Attica or Sing Sing, wherever he was. Yeah. He would always have his hands out in front of him. It's just a prison thing. They would be ready for somebody to, try to come at them or whatever.
One of the best scenes in that show is when it's season 1, Christopher doesn't know where he's going in life, and Paulie comes over and he's like, "I thought we were gonna go out," and he sits there and they just start talking, and he starts talking about how he goes to the army, he's half a wise guy, and that's just how his life is, Yeah,
he talks about the arc.
Yeah, and he's like, "You ever feel like nothing's going to happen?" And Paulie's like, "Yeah, and nothing did." And, it's just a good scene because, they kind of just talk about how, like I'm sure we've all thought about that. Like, what is my life? Like, is it any more than what it is? You know, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. What was I just gonna look at? There was something I wanted to click on. Son of a bitch. This. You're gonna love this.
I actually like that commenter until now. Holy
Uh,
fuck, Richard.
yeah, he's
You're
really.
not serious, are you? Please tell me you're not serious. Holy fuck, man.
He's not. You know what we got to do, Jeff? And we should
Like watch the video and comment on it?
Yeah, well, we could do that.
I
But
would love to do that.
yeah, we absolutely have to do just a show on him, just to kind of clear some of that stuff up.
Listen, one of the funniest parts of that interview he does. Have you seen that? Can I please play it for like just 2 minutes? I'll get it up.
Absolutely, yeah.
Funny, Lee. Lee, you're still in here? Like, funny.
Brooklyn guy, Vinny. Who? Brooklyn guy, Vinny Bracco. Hey, man, what's up, buddy? This is a good dude right here.
Yeah, I got to get that up. I'm going to just play for 5 minutes. You got to hear this. It's so lame, this Kuklinski thing. All right, hold on. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, let me share my screen. Hold on. All right.
Can you turn the volume? Yeah.
Multiple life sentences for over 100 murders. He freely admits to brutal, cold-blooded killings.
He has like the sunglasses on.
But one question remains unanswered. Why?
Did you think of yourself as an assassin?
Assassin. Sounds so exotic. I was just a murderer.
Let me fast forward on.
Stab him. It's not less than 200 people.
You killed more than 200 people.
Sure. Yep. I killed
Hundreds, thousands.
more 100 people when I was a young man. Before I even knew anybody.
Before I was 10 years old, I killed 100 people.
Too much. One part of my life, I killed people for nothing. Just for somebody to look at me wrong, I would kill them. Stab them, shoot them.
You tended to shoot people up close and personal.
Definitely. I wanted to tell them just before they left. I wanted to say goodbye.
Did you like to look them in the eye?
I wanted them looking straight at me.
I don't know. Some of this about him, like, does seem to be like valid. Like he was like a lunatic psychopath.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Yeah.
We were close.
You wanted to think as they died.
Just see my pretty face. Take it to them. The last thing they ever saw was me. And if they carry that glimpse to eternity, infinity, or whatever it is, they're going to be thinking of me all that time. I'd be looking in their eyes. I would see the blankness come over it. I'd watch them die.
I can't do
I
this
just
anymore.
didn't shoot them and walk away.
It's like he sits in prison, like he was sitting in prison. He just thought of like, how many things can I make up and just tell these people what I did.
What do you think about his death and the time frame, because of the whole thing that was supposed to be coming up about Sammy and all that?
Yeah, I've heard shit like that. I don't know. I mean,
he was supposed to testify that Sammy the Bull, I think, had him kill a cop, something like that, and then days before he
definitely interesting timing for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. Does he sell? That's a good one. You see that? Ron Groves, does he sell hockey sticks? No, he He sells signed syringes full of what was it? What was it?
Cyanide.
Cyanide. Yeah, that's right.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, John A. like taught him everything he knows.
Well, of course he did.
I love how he says he killed hundreds of people before he knew anybody. Like, what does that mean? Like, what were you killing people at like 12?
Well, that's what he's trying to say, I guess, before he knew, Roy DeMeo.
Right.
What do we got here? He sells signed ice picks. That was a good movie, though. I liked the movie.
I love like the music and like the music in the background. It's like that shit. It's like that really haunting like horror music in the background.
Yeah.
It's like. Boom.
All right, we'll take a couple more comments and roll.
Someone says Philip Carlos books cannot be believed. Yeah, well, that's the Casso book was a prime example.
Oh yeah, this is funny. Did he say that in the part we were watching? Because I don't think he did. Do you remember that? When Iceman in the interview, I forget exactly what he was talking about, but he said that. He said it was a nice door, expensive door.
No, I don't remember that part.
Yeah, like such a silly. Richie B, comment exactly what it was he was talking about at the time, because I don't remember.
By the way, I don't know why this just popped in my head. One of the Sopranos scene I wanted to bring up to you. Remember in like late in the show, like they have this sit down with like Phil and Tony's like, "Come on, Phil, why can't we just compromise?" And he's like, "Compromise? You want to hear about compromise?" Inside, I wanted manigot. I had grilled cheese on the radiator. I wanted to fuck a woman. I jerked off
into a tissue.
How's that for compromise? He's a super underrated character, Phil. He said some funny shit.
What did I saw Goodbye Jimmy. Is Jimmy leaving?
Yeah, Jimmy.
I didn't see any Jimmy comments. Am I missing something? I don't know, but if so, have a good night, Jimmy. Phil was the best. Phil Leotardo. Did Richie B? He said before he died, they poisoned me. Did he really?
I mean,
How
what
would
if
we?
he did? Fuck him.
What?
Fuck Richard Kuklinski.
I want to see if Richie B left a comment about the door. His comments.
Yeah, I have to watch that over. I've never seen that.
Yeah, that Richie B. Before he knew anybody in the mafia. Yeah, that's what I thought he meant. What about the door? I don't remember, but yeah, watch it. You'll see it. It's a nice door, expensive door.
Justin Mason says, "You look like a Puerto Rican hula."
When he's talking to that
Vito Jr. Yeah.
Vito Jr. Yeah. He did though.
He's like, "Don't you have any shame?"
That kid was when he shit in that locker room, bro. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah. Let's see.
I know Vitam's bottom was impacted, if that's what you're referring to.
You know what?
Brennan Walsh's comment's funny. Phil said that about the bottom line, and Phil goes, "I know Vitam's bottom was impacted, if that's what you're referring
to. Yeah. Buscemi wasn't good on there. Sorry. Yeah, I agree. I don't know why they picked him for that part.
He was, very good in Boardwalk, though.
Well, I'll tell you the truth about Buscemi. For me, anyway, my opinion. I love his story as a person and like what he did on 9/11, stuff like that. I think that Steve Buscemi is probably a really good guy in real life. But as an actor, I never cared for him in anything.
I thought it was okay as Blundetto.
Yeah. Richie B, he said, a lot of people don't know this, but when you hide behind a door, the light makes you see the shadow. Yeah. About the peephole.
Okay.
Iceman
Yeah.
said that.
Wait, when you look at a peephole, no, what?
He says when you look through a peephole from the other side of the door,
From inside the door.
yeah, or no, from outside the door,
There's no way.
you could see a shadow. So in other words, if you're outside the door, I think he was referring to shooting somebody through the door.
I don't believe that.
He was saying that he could see the person coming up to the peephole.
No fucking way. You can hear them, maybe. I don't believe that. Well, I don't believe anything he says. So.
What is this? I'm not going to fully disagree. However, when I saw him for the first time, I was like, what the fuck? And he did better than I was expecting. But yeah, overall, didn't fit. Not too bad, though. What the hell is he talking about?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea, Jeff?
No, I do not. Maybe Kukunski.
Steve Buscemi, probably.
Wow. I didn't mind him. I thought he was okay. Not my favorite.
Just a weird pick. Besides, right, JP. What the fuck, man? I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something. Let's see. I notice he's been doing that a lot lately. I think it's just pressure on producing funny material. There's enough real things you could get on John P. About without having. I don't know. This is probably a conversation that we're not part of. I'm not sure what he's talking about. All right, guys. The Miracle Workers. I never saw that. The Miracle Workers with Steve Buscemi is hilarious.
I've never seen that either.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, this guy keeps Brennan Walsh. Come on, FBS. Al Capone from Boardwalk as Jimmy Calandra.
Stephen Graham.
I never saw Boardwalk. Not even a single.
Might be the best Al Capone ever. I mean, he was really
Even above De Niro.
Hold on, I gotta play you him quick on that. Let me just play him quick for you. Hold on, you got to see him in his.
Yeah, I was about to look him up. Show me.
Let me show you here. Let me get a good scene. Oh, this is a great scene. I'm gonna play this. Hold up. Hang on.
Yeah, right. I might check it out sometime. I just never got into it. I don't know what was going on in my life at that time, but I wasn't watching much TV.
Yeah, I shared it.
Let's see.
It's good stuff right here. That's him right there.
Oh, okay.
Lucky Luciano.
Well, that's Lucky.
Yeah.
Is that Al?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. That is
This is a great scene though.
I won't judge.
We got the border tray.
She'll poke some hard.
My desk, next to the elephants.
Al's desk, next to the elephants. On the desk, the elephants. Desk, elephants.
Alright. We're being down memory lane. Where you want to take me to now, Chief?
Change is coming. Have you heard?
But you got a new boss.
What would you say?
Surprise me.
There's better ways to do things.
I am. Running like a business. I already got the biggest game going. It's not all about you. It's about all of us. Together. Who's us? Italians. I don't know no Italians. Capitans. Calabrese. What are you again? That's where your new boss wants. All pats. His hand in my pocket?
Go anywhere in the country. New York, KC, Boston, Atlantic City.
Same understanding. Same rules. Nobody worries. Everybody benefits. It's not less, it's more. Atlantic City.
I'm gonna get copyrighted.
Huh?
I'm gonna get copyrighted.
So we're gonna get tidied up.
You got to watch this though. It's a good scene.
Yeah, he. I see what you're saying. I actually agree. He could play. He could definitely play Jimmy.
And I thought the Lucky Luciano character was like real good also. That was one good thing about the show. Like all the real people were like spot on character wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, Boardwalk Empire is good. I love that show personally. A lot of good shit from like the older like 20s, 30s.
Yeah. Yeah, I might get into that someday. I don't know. I don't have. I never take the time to watch anything on TV, so I don't know if I'd ever really get into it, but I might someday. Good night, Mob Snob. Good night, YT. Let's do movie night. I'll come on. I'm a Mob Snob. I know my shit. All right, yeah, we can talk movies one night. All right, guys. I think I'm going to go. I'm about ready to crash for the night. So thanks, everybody, for joining us while we bullshit and talk about various stuff. I like doing this, and I'm sure me and Jeff will probably be doing a couple more shows this week. Right, Jeff?
Yeah, look forward to it. Thanks as always, and thanks to the chat for good comments as always.
Jeff, you want to shout anything out or anything?
No, I'm good to go. We're gonna record our new show tomorrow. Carlo Gambino this week. Gonna talk about the Don Carlo. So yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm sure we'll talk to you tomorrow or Wednesday.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, guys. Like I said, thanks for showing up, and I don't know. Probably tomorrow sometime I'll see you guys again. All right? Salute.